Now, how do you come up with your characters? Do you model them after people that you know, or how do you develop their emotions and just their whole being?
Well, things creep in from people who I do know. For example, when I did the Wallflower series a few years ago, it was at a time in my life when I met the most wonderful circle of women, and they just kind of took me in. It's actually Christina Dodd, my very best friend, Connie Brockway, Eloisa James, Liz Beverly, and Teresa Medeiros. And they became such a powerful force in my life because they're such strong women, so intelligent, so funny, that it got me to thinking about women's friendship, and I wanted to celebrate that. And that became the genesis for the Wallflower series, where 4 heroines who are all the ones on the sidelines, they never get asked to dance, they band together to help each other find husbands. So that's how that started. And with the other characters in other books, I usually try to capture that experience of being an outsider trying to get in. I think I grew up feeling very much like a nerd. I had glasses and I read all the time, and I sat in our attic all the time reading, and so I was never part of the popular cheerleader sort of group in school, and so and I think that's actually great because I met a lot of very interesting people outside of that popular group. But that sense of always wondering, what do you do to fit in? How do I get it? What's the right way to behave? That fascinates me. And another theme that goes on through my books, both historical and contemporary, is this idea of class conflict. Rich people, poor people, and especially poor people or middle-class people who work their way up into a position of wealth and then don't know how to handle it.
Yeah. That's interesting. So now I have to ask you, you're saying you were kind of a wallflower, or did a lot of reading and so forth, but you were also, from my understanding, Miss Massachusetts America from the America pageant?
For the Miss America pageant, yes,
in,
yes. 1986,
well, you don't have to tell.
I think. yes. So no, it was it was about 24 years ago, actually, and it was a neat experience. I just did it for 1 year, and
so you weren't one of those kids that grew up going to pageants and practicing and so forth. This was just something you entered, and
yes,
you're beautiful enough, so obviously you
thank you. Not quite tall enough, but no, thank you. It was a wonderful experience. I think the thing that benefited me the most was becoming very comfortable speaking, especially in front of groups of people, because once you've been in your swimsuit and high heels in front of a lot of people, you're just never shy again. And the other thing that I learned also was that as much as we all value external beauty, what makes you confident, what makes you happy, and what makes you truly beautiful is what's inside. Because after the pageant, I went back to being a normal person. I didn't always, exercise enough or have my hair perfectly done, and I had to be, sort of normal and not a beauty queen. And that's when I thought, I like myself just as well, if not better, now than I was when I was perfectly polished and made up all the time.
So you learned something from it then as well. It was a learning experience.
Absolutely, yeah.
So what was your talent then?
Well, I played the guitar and I sang an original song.
Oh, wow.
Wow. So I still pull out the guitar at Christmas. We all, sing Christmas carols, but and I think both my children are interested in the guitar now. So.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
So you said when you were younger, you liked to do a lot of reading. Is that what got you into writing? Because you read so many books that you just enjoyed the stories and felt that I could tell that story too. I'm going to be a storyteller. Or how did that evolve?
I grew up really just, loving books and loving that escape, loving the fantasy world. I also have this kind of personality where I compulsively want everything to turn out all right for everybody all the time. And so because of all that reading and that wonderful escape, I think it does stimulate your imagination. So I started thinking, well, what if this happened to that character? What if that happened? And what if I created a character? So I started writing novels seriously when I was about 16 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, went to summer camp, and instead of using this big stack of stationery to write letters to people, I just started a novel. Went home and finished it, and of course it did not get published, but I did send it out. And at that point, it was a click. And there are some people who are lucky enough to find out what they're meant to do, what was just right for them at an early age, and that was it. I don't know what else I would do other than be an author. So
oh, that's wonderful. Yeah,
it really,
and you do such a wonderful job telling stories. I know I hear from our readers and booksellers of how much they enjoy your books, and the contemporary books, and especially with Smooth Talking Stranger. I think you've got another bestseller on your hands there. So
thank you. I hope so.